It's recording.
Hi, I am Jillian Lynch. I'm doing a presentation today about adopting versus shopping for a pet. My purpose is to persuade people to adopt, not shop, as there are many differences, and with adoption, you're saving an animal's life and ultimately putting out puppy mills out of business, and it's just a better cause. So I actually have an adopted cat. This is Kieran. He was rescued from a high-kill shelter with his whole family, as pictured here. There's 3 kittens and a mom. They're found on a street and someone brought them in, and they're supposed to be euthanized, but luckily someone rescued them from the shelter, and it was actually one of my friend's mom's friends. So she put me in contact with the lady, and I picked out him, and I fell in love with him, and now that he's home, he's just grown. Like, he's really cute, and since he came from the street, he just knows what it's like to have a better life, and he loves every minute of his life now, and he actually serves as my emotional support animal. So these are some adoption facts, and when their animals are brought to a kill shelter, where there's 2.7 million dogs and cats that are euthanized in the United States each year. And this is just because animals are coming into shelters and there's enough space, and some people don't consider a shelter when adopting a pet. They just want to go look at the cute little puppies or cats in a regular store and not have to deal with looking at the other animals who are in there as well. When adopting, it'll cost you less because most of the animals already come being fixed, or they'll come with a chip in, they're potty trained, they're up to date with their vet checks, and they have their vaccinations and everything already. Kieran actually came with his microchip too, so we don't have to worry about if he gets lost, he has a chip already. Some of the animals in adoption centers are more mature because a lot of times in just like pet stores, they are like small puppies, kittens, and a lot of people don't really want like an older animal. But when adopting an older animal, they're given a second chance, and it's better to introduce them to the family, so it'll be so much easier. They've already had that experience, and adopting an animal doesn't just help that one, it helps everyone in the shelter because it allows more room for them to come in, and if more animals don't come in, it allows the owners of the shelter to give more attention to the other animals. And in any of these situations, you'll end up with a great animal because the shelters just want their animals to be happy and provide them with a good home. So in kill shelters, over 70% of cats who enter a kill shelter end up being killed. Euthanasia is the #1 leading death of cats in the United States, and there's cases where the animals aren't euthanized, but they're killed anyway because of the way that they're treated. Dogs are different. Some of them are killed within 28 or 24 to 48 hours coming in. And a really horrible method that they do is the gas chamber method, and they'll actually gas the animals to death, and it can take up to 40 minutes, and if that doesn't work, then they do it again. So this is why it's important to adopt these animals. You can save them from situations like this. And another really cruel thing that they do are they will euthanize them just because there's not enough space instead of making their shelter bigger, or the animals are too skinny, or if they're shy, they'll just euthanize them because they'll think, who wants this animal? They're not even giving them the chance to grow into something better and give it a better life. The US is actually the only country that has kill pounds, and there's a 50 to 90% chance of an animal being killed in these shelters. And these are all facts from the Humane Society and different studies that were taken. So why should you adopt? When animals are adopted, they're given a second chance at life. Most of these animals were already in bad situations or taken from homes. It's not their fault that they're in the shelter, it just wasn't a good situation for them. And it's not like there's anything wrong with them, so they should be looked at and given the same opportunities as pets in just a regular store. animals who are up for adoption are already spayed and neutered, as opposed to being in a pet store. They're not neutered or spayed. A lot of them don't have their shots or vet checks or anything. So that's why it's easier to adopt, because this is already taken care of. They're all potty trained already. One thing with cats that's interesting is that they just naturally know how to use their litter box. You don't even have to teach them. And with the dogs, of course, they just take them out and everything, like it works. Since some of these shelters are high kill, adopting will give you the chance to save the life. And these animals have already faced so much in their lifetime, with being sometimes from shelter to shelter, and like in Kieran's situation, he was taken off the street. They've dealt with all of that, so it's really nice for them to have a second chance in their new home. There's Kieran, actually. Here's a video of him licking strawberries. Maybe if I can play it. He really likes strawberries. I don't know why. And he also likes to lick my hand to the beat of music. That's when he was like 1 month old. And here he prevents me from doing my work. So instead of living on the streets, he likes to live in my bed now and eat the luxuries of strawberries and sleep like that sometimes. So the problem that I wanted to address is just that a lot of animals aren't given that second chance to really have a good life that they deserve. And the solution to this would be to just like make more people aware of what happens in these shelters, and hopefully they would then go look at the shelters to adopt an animal. And this will also help prevent, for example, puppy mills, where puppies are literally just bred just to go into stores, and a lot of times these animals don't get the correct nutrition and they're just caged up like nothing. So that's another key point of adopting. So going forward, it would be really helpful if people would just consider all their options when looking to buy an animal. Of course, the animals that are in the pet store shouldn't be overlooked, but adopting an animal will just give a pet a second chance of life, and they're going to be so much happier than in a shelter where they aren't being taken care of the way that they should be. And here are my works cited. These are all different studies that were taken care of or done about like what happens in a shelter or what happens in a store and how these pets will affect your life. So that's done. Does anyone have any questions? Yes?
So you said that like dogs are usually like killed within like 24 to 48 hours. Like, are those just in kill shelters? Like, are there shelters that aren't killed?
Yes, there are shelters that are not killed, like the Humane Society is not. There's a lot of different ones. There's one in Gainesville, actually. It's called Gainesville Pet Rescue. I looked there before getting Kieran, and there are a lot of really great animals there, so they'll keep them there and they won't kill them. But yeah, some of them do, unfortunately, and that happens pretty quickly. Yeah.
I don't have a question, I have a comment. I had no idea that we were the only nation that had kill shelters, and I also didn't know that it was legal to use gas to kill animals. That's terrible. So
yeah, so that's a really, I mean, it's horrible, but it's really good to be aware, just so people know what goes on, and hopefully it can prevent that from happening in the future.
So, helping Holocaust.
It is. It really is. Yeah. Are there any more questions?